part of the episode. You fucking always with the fucking. Look, man, I'm on Jada's side, mate. I'm also as a bald man representing. Nah, man, I would have laughed at that joke as well. It's all right.
Did you hear about Amy Schumer saying she was traumatized by that slap?
I want to end the episode again. I'm so mad now. Really? Like Chris Rock got slapped, and he just his face. It says it's a man holding back everything that he's thinking of blurting out. Because he had that that grin on his face.
I would have said something like, that was a good slap, Smith. Oh, you know what? That slap, that felt nostalgic. You must have been hearing that, right?
Yeah.
You must be real familiar with that slapping noise.
Oh, man.
Or should I go into the other room with your wife and that makes slapping noise? Maybe that'll jog your memory.
Or when he's yelling, keep my wife's name out of your fucking mouth. He's just keep other dudes' dicks out of your wife's mouth.
Oh, yes.
Come on, dude.
Yes, dude.
Oh, mad respect for Chris Rock, just taking it like a champ.
Yeah, just honestly holding back and just not responding to this childish tantrum.
No violence, nothing. He's
this
just
pseudo chivalry bullshit of Will Smith is oh my god.
And then he gets the Oscar and he's so bawling. He's it's fuck.
I wouldn't even have given him the Oscar. I would have gone right, Will Smith didn't want this Oscar. Because obviously
can't take a fucking joke.
You know, if you can't take a joke, if you cannot keep your composure, and if you cannot keep your hands off of our presenters tonight,
you're a bad actor.
Then you're not getting your goddamn nomination. Now, who was second place? Oh, would you look at that? Chris Rock!
Well, I haven't released anything in years. It's for one of your old stand-ups.
Yeah, well, I was rewatching your old stand-up, and boy, it was great. Also, I love how Netflix started recommending me Chris Rock.
Yep.
I mean, I watched a lot of Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart's also great.
I know that's people these days have been a bit basic fuck. Okay.
I know, but it's still good.
You know, I like it. But yeah, so I've been watching a lot of stand-up on Netflix lately. I've been watching guy Roy Verveer, Dutch stand-up guy.
Yeah.
He's pretty funny. He did a whole show about people just getting mad. He's like, as a comedian, you know, I'm jealous of singers. Because these motherfuckers, they just get the song written for them, and they sing it, and people would listen to it and don't even understand the lines.
Yes.
He's like, I'm a big fan of Bluff. Love those dudes. Great band. You know, my friend will walk up to me and be like, hey man, you listen to the new album from Bluff? I'll be like, yeah, of course, yeah, it's a great album. Man, so deep, yeah, so philosophical. Man, we both don't know what he was saying. That dude speaks in metaphors that nobody understands.
Sorry.
But he gets to the point where he's like, every single show I do, no matter what I say, someone will send me an angry email.
Yes. As the life of a comedian is.
He makes a joke about sucking his wife's titties. Mixes it in with breast cancer. And of course has to spend a week. Because he's dumb enough to actually respond, right?
Oh, wow.
If I were a comedian, I would intentionally build up outrage, and then just not respond.
Exactly.
Go to interviews and just be like, by the way, I'm trying to fuck with people here.
Yeah.
So, if you want to do an interview, I do need you to sign this contract that says you're not gonna disclose the real facts.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Like, bro, I would, I don't know. I don't get the fucking point in getting angry at
a funny man.
At a comedian. It's like
it's so stupid.
It's the last person you should be getting angry at.
It's like getting mad at
literally their whole job is to bring laughter and positivity into the room. That is their job. That is what they're doing and what they're trying to do. That's a very good intention. And I know good intentions pave the way to hell.
Yeah.
But
no,
it's definitely not applicable in a situation where a comedian is making a joke that just like, even if it's offensive, right? Even if it's distasteful,
Yeah.
just ignore it.
Just don't give a shit. Yeah. It's that it's
Let
that
it go.
easy.
No, but just let it go. I feel
Who
like
cares?
ever since I've gone back to school to retrain, switch my careers around, I've been telling people nonstop, just let it go.
Yep.
Because these guys are stressing over every single thing.
I do that at work as well.
They overanalyze everything, and they think too much about everything, and they'll go like, yeah, so I'm gonna come down today. Why? Because this person that I didn't want to see anymore, well, one of my friends, they still hang out with her, and I don't mind. But they were putting pictures on their Snapchat story, and she appeared in the picture, and I was like, God damn, I just don't want to see her anymore. And I was like, what? I said, that's what's bothering you.
I love working with teenagers.
And I was like, I just tell them straight up, like, that's stupid. Like, that's stupid. Stop caring about that stuff. You literally, if that's enough to make you, if that's enough to ruin your day enough that you have to tell me about it, then you're caring too much.
Yep.
And I don't mean that if it's something that you tell me about, that you shouldn't tell me stuff. You should tell me stuff so I can tell you when you're caring about something you're not supposed to care about, because this is stupid. All right, this is fucking ridiculous. And so what did you do about it? He's like, well, I blocked that friend. You blocked that friend for putting a picture on their Snapchat story with another friend of theirs?
So stupid.
He was like, well, when you put it like that, I was like, yeah, well, that's exactly what you're doing.
This is why I love fucking working with teenagers, man. Because when I hear that shit, because I hear it every day, it's like, oh, like fucking fights this, fights that. I laugh at them, Brian. I just laugh, and the only thing I say to them is like, you know how I would have dealt with this? I would have just laughed it off, guys.
I haven't actually had a...
Stop it.
I actually haven't had a full-blown fight with anyone in years.
Me neither.
Whenever I've had confrontations, but that's different. A confrontation with me usually goes like, yo, just so it's literally me sending you a message like, by the way, I'm no longer gonna be hanging out with you because you've been disrespecting my friends to such a degree that I can no longer respect you. So, have a good one and bye. And that's it.
It's that easy.
That's the last they hear from me. That's the last I see from them.
Yep.
There's no drama. It's just we're no longer hanging out. See you.
It's no more drama needed. Oh. It's so efficient.
Or like at work, because co-worker drama. The worst confrontation I've had was a person with ASD, flipping a tit because I said something which was both negative and related to the company I was working for.
All right. Reasonable.
He was triggered.
Getting triggered over.
He started raising his voice and shit, and you don't raise your voice to me at work. You don't do that.
No.
I won't take you seriously if you do. And in fact, I will assume that you are not in a mental state to be at this workplace. So what I say is very clearly, I also raise my voice, and I go, you leave this floor right now. You do not work on this floor. You work at an entirely different department. You're only here to briefly help. And if that help is going to come at the cost of you being extremely sensitive and annoying, then you're going to leave. So he leaves with his tail between his legs, goes up to the boss. So, I talked to my boss. I'm like, oh, well, here's what happens. And yes, I did lose my patience because of his outburst. So I suppose we both had an outburst against one another. Autismo boy starts lying. Like full on lying, unironically.
That is
a 33-year-old virgin ass ASD motherfucker just started lying. Imagine being so immature. Off. I'm like no. The reason I snapped at you is because you snapped at me. because I didn't, because it was such an unprofessional thing to do, that it frustrated me beyond belief. And luckily, my boss was like, yeah, I don't believe that Brian would have, done this without a reason.
Exactly. It's that easy.
Like, that would be pretty weird. So, and also my coworkers were also just like, yeah, no. Altismo boy started it.
Yeah.
Because it's like, bro, if I say something like, man, this fucking thing, just out of frustration because they've been doing nothing but hindering the workflow of the entire department, right?
Yeah.
So if all I say is under my breath, this fucking thing.
Yeah.
That's not a reason to raise your voice and start screaming about pride and loyalty to the company.
It also it's
isn't
so
the
stupid.
time.
I don't understand how people
It's not the
have
fucking
the
motive either.
Like how stupid do you have to be like, oh, my company matters? No, it doesn't. They're a bunch of fucking assholes
I don't
who
care.
care about their own income.
It's a 12-person company. My boss owns 5 cars and I get paid minimum wage without transport costs.
Yeah.
They wouldn't pay me transport costs. And when they did,
you have every
they paid
right
me too little.
Yeah, you have every right to be mad at that company. Like, fuck off.
I remember, dude, when we went to Japan, and like, you were telling me, like, yeah, you've been looking like shit since you started working there.
Yeah.
And you started asking, I noticed you've been becoming more inquisitive, like, yeah, man, so what is working there even like? Like, what are you doing all fucking day? And I was like, well, I've currently got 6 different jobs at the same company, getting paid for one, and getting fucking disrespected all over the place because I just got out of school, right? If you just got out of school, then they assume you know absolutely nothing. And, you're not gonna get any respect.
No.
And you're also not gonna get any pay. So it's like, okay, so when you said, like, yeah, you should quit, I was like, So I was an idiot for thinking I should quit. Because it was my first proper job after school, so I felt like I was a failure, right? I felt like I was failing because I couldn't keep up pace at this company. But the more I look back on it, the more I'm like, these motherfuckers should have begged me to stay.
The thing is, like, I've worked the same job for so long, and I've grown in that job, that when I looked at your working space, I'm like, this is not how you work in a company. Like, you can't, like, me as, like, I give guidance or guidance. How do you call it? I'm middle management. I manage the kids. I treat them with fucking respect. Like, it doesn't matter how good you work or how bad you work, I will never fucking yell at you. I know what you're getting paid. I know what I'm expecting out of you. If I'm gonna give you more fucking, like, responsibilities, hell yeah, I'll give you more hours and more pay. Like, and I'll make sure to get that through to management. Like, hey, this dude, give him more fucking...
I got one really satisfying story, though. There was this one guy from sales. He ended up, catching a good old burnout and leaving the company. But while he was working there, he once walked in and he just handed me an order. Now, just so you know, I decide which orders have priorities. The sales department, only if they discuss it with us are they allowed to tell customer, like, when their laptop's coming in.
Yeah.
Like, when their order is coming in. So he walks in with his order, hands it to me, and goes, "This needs to leave the door today." I'm like, "It's 2 PM.
Yeah.
That's not happening. He's like, "No, it is happening," and just walks off. So what I do is I take the order and I chuck it in the bin and I keep going about my day. And the next day he comes back and he's like, so how did everything go well with that order? I was like, "Which order do you mean?" The order he gave me. I was like, "I didn't see no damn order in my order pile." No, I have to see. Oh, yeah. Oh, you mean the one that you gave me in the afternoon? No, I didn't like the way you treated me, so I threw it away. And he was like,
move.
"What?" And yeah, sure enough, later that morning he got a very angry phone call from the customer and I had to deal with that the whole morning. Like, he was on the phone for like 45 minutes.
Fuck him.
But my boss was like, "Well, I mean, yeah, You cannot just shove an order in his hands and tell him to deal with it.
No, it's not how that
Like,
works.
these guys, they are, like, the only responsibility I have is prioritizing orders. I'm the one who prioritizes shit, not the sales fuckers. The sales fuckers just need to fucking scam people.
That's all they have to do, but not in time, just in money. It's like when my management goes like, hey, yeah, we should have all the aisles faced tonight. And I'm like, no. Look, I have 2 guys. I have 15 containers I have to fill. So I'm gonna do the filling part because I know that customers want to have, stock in the aisles instead of the aisles being nicely and neatly shoved forward. It's like I know exactly when you do have time in the week to do that, and that's after today. So if I do my job real good today, and make sure there's no extra things you have to do the next day, you'll face the fucking aisles yourself. Fuck off. It's not important. And sometimes like some employees that have been working longer, they work the nights, and then they're like, oh, this, that, and so much stress. I'm like, no. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna fill until that time, and if we have time to face some shelves,
I remember I used to be like that.
I'll do that.
I used to be like stressing and all that because I would get projects where I would need to build like upwards of 20, 30, sometimes even up towards 80 laptops. And we'd have to do that in a very short time span on top of regular orders. In busy periods when lots of people are ordering stuff. And like, oh my god, it was the worst. And because if I had employees that worked with me, right, that would be okay. But all I got were interns.
Oh, I hate interns.
Interns that are being paid €1 per hour.
It's
like,
so
they're
bad.
not gonna do shit.
Exactly. What do you expect of them?
Like, what the fuck? Oh, man. And I just, the more I think back to it, the more I'm like, motherfuckers, I should have stolen from them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, dude. I wouldn't even,
like, fuck it out. I want my fucking investment back. No, I don't even have a monetary investment in it, just a full-on physical investment.
Give me it.
Jesus Christ. And I remember I came back from Japan and I was like, oh man, because going on vacation, especially when you're going with just one other person who isn't in your family.
Exactly.
And you like pay for everything yourself, you plan it all yourself, and you literally do only what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
You don't go to any stupid attractions.
No.
You don't go any stupid tourist traps. You literally just chill and do whatever the fuck, right? Sure, people are gonna say like, oh, you wasted your vacation.
No, we
you
didn't.
Get your money's worth. The very feeling of the peace and quiet.
Yep.
I remember in the hotel room, the first night, right, that we were like about to sleep, and I'm like, wait, Dennis, shut up. Dennis, what? It's like, oh, it's quiet. I haven't heard silence like this in years, and all I had to do was go to the busiest metropolis in the world.
Yeah.
And it's just, I came back and I started work again, and I was immediately like, oh my fucking god, nothing has changed at all here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was trying out this new attitude of what doesn't work, and I don't give a shit, right? Because I'm not getting paid to give a shit, not paid enough at least. No, giving a shit is not in my pay grade.
Yep.
Well, boy oh boy, did I get punished for that. They hated that immediately. They were like, Brian, why are you not putting in any effort? Like, why are you no longer motivated? You know, you're not really showing any professional attitude. That's how they always would pin it, right?
Oh, yeah.
They would never pin it as like, you know, because I'm pretty sure they knew they were pushing me to an impossible corner,
yep.
Right? So what they would do is they would simply shame me by saying like, oh, you're not professional. I get to my job after that, right? And my boss is actually worried about how formal and strict I am. And I remember one of my bosses actually pulling me aside to tell me to work less hard. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, well, you're gonna break. I was like, what? But this is... I was told I was lazy. I was told that I was unprofessional. I was told that I wasn't doing enough. That I was failing to meet expectations. That's what I've always been told. He's like, no, you're exceeding our expectations. And you know, your work ethic worries me. And I was like, whoa. So I just started chilling.
Yeah.
I was like, I just started doing fuck all, and they were still really pleased with me.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, whoa.
You're like a beaten dog.
I should have burned that building down. I should have taken everything from that man.
Like I remember when you were talking to me about your new job after you got when you quit, and I was like, oh man, you sound like a beaten dog. like when you buy one of those beaten dogs or rescue dogs, you try and pet it and it goes hide in the corner, and that's you when you got into that new job. Because when I heard you talk about it, it's like, yeah, no, just fucking chill, dude. I tell my employees so much, hey guys, I get paid to worry, not you guys. I just want you to work as efficiently as you can.
You know what the best thing is?
And that's it.
Because of their attitude at that, you know.
I'm sorry. Do you mind? No, finish your story.
So because of the so just to let you guys know that I went from a custom desktop and such building company to a hardware store.
Yeah.
Now in this hardware store, the way they treated me made me want to work harder, but they taught me to work harder in a much different way.
Yep.
I got more things done simply because I didn't care whether or not I got them done.
Yeah.
Weirdly enough.
It's all about motivation and...
Yeah, because I genuinely
not
felt
stressing your workforce.
I can work here at the... if I can work if I can work like this, I can keep up pace with society.
Yeah.
Because that's one thing that I felt working at that computer company was I feel like I'm a failure of society. I feel like I cannot keep up with this.
No.
Now, of course, I inevitably got fired from the hardware store because of my, I got migraines.
Yeah.
And that sucks. And when we got a new management in, he was like, I don't believe that you have migraines this frequently.
Dude,
I was
fuck
like,
off.
I got migraines once a month. He's like, yeah, that's too frequent.
It's so
so he thought it was a motivation thing. So I was like, I'm back to I'm back to the start again. Great.
It's so stupid because I've
been
had
looking
people
for
with
a new
migraines.
job since, just been focusing on school.
When you have people working with migraines, just be tolerant of it because it's once a month. Maybe sometimes it's more often. It's
terrible.
It's horrible. Whenever I talk to people who've had it, I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll respect it.
Yeah. I mean,
that's all you have to do, and they'll love you, and they'll be motivated to work for you. So yeah. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna take a quick piss and stop the episode because we're going for 20 minutes.
He actually got to the
second time on video. I've gotten to sweat him.
Oh
all right,
man,
see you guys in a bit.
Stuff. Bye. Bye.